It's me, KingHuman, and in this video I'm going to talk about how to make $1,000 a day in a casino. And look, this is something I used to do way back in the day, and I'm going to talk about this, I'm going to revisit it, and I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. So, before we even get into this, you got to do two things. First of all, you got to watch this video all the way to the end, because at the end I might have some interesting updates that can make you money in a couple of different ways. I'm going to throw some stuff at you really quick. And then the other thing you have to do is you have to click the subscribe button and ding that stupid little bell so that when I do a follow-up video or if I post a video on some other stupid thing, you'll get notified. Helps you, helps me. Boom, goes dynamite. Let's go. Hot, hot, hot. Okay, it's me, KingHuman. Here's what's doing. Check this out. How cool would it be to be able to walk into any casino and know you're going to walk out with an extra $1,000 in cash anytime you wanted to do it? If you wanted to do it 10 times a day, if you wanted to do it 20 times a day, whatever. So, I know that's a big dream. Now, here's the deal. I used to do this. I used to walk into casinos back in the day. I mean, this is like, I don't know, 20 years ago. And I would walk up and down the Vegas Strip, hitting every casino on one side, going that way, and every casino on the other side coming back. And I would have a wad of cash. What would I do? I would play craps, and I would do it in a special way. And it made me money. And you might say, well, KingHuman, why aren't you still doing it? Well, I do still do it, but I gotta tell you, I hate craps with a passion. I hate it. I started playing Baccarat, and now that's my game. I don't care if I lose. I'd rather play Baccarat and lose than play craps and win. It's that much of a torturous experience for me. So anyway, I'm getting into stupid digressions here. Let's get into what's going on. So here's what's doing. I've been playing craps a certain way for years, and it's paid off for me. Now, what have I used to win? I've used what's called a martingale, which is the dumbest freaking thing you can do. What is a martingale? A martingale is a betting strategy where you double up your bet when you lose, right? So you put out one chip, and if you lose that, you bet 2, and if you lose that, you bet 4, and if you lose that, you bet 8. And it's a complete disaster unless you can incorporate some other rules to it. First of all, you have to understand, there are two things you can control. Two things that are in your control when you gamble, when you play craps. One is your bet selection. In other words, what you bet on. The other thing is money management. So those are the two things you have in your favor. The two things that give you control. However, here's the reality of the situation. And we got to be real now. Because there's a lot of other chuckleheads on YouTube that'll tell you, oh, you can make millions of dollars. You just have to do this and do that. And here's the reality. You're playing a game with a negative expectancy. It has a built-in profit that is actually built into the layout that you cannot overcome. The house has a 1.4, I think it's a 1.4% house advantage over you. So you can win anything in the short term. It's the long term that will get you. So with that in mind, I want to get into what I'm up to here. So this is a system tester. What this is a crap system tester, and basically it's a book of craps results. It's not computer generated. Somebody actually recorded all of these results at a craps table. So this has 35,000 actual dice rolls in here. And it consists of over 300 hours of actual play at a table. So when I devise a methodology of playing craps, I come to this book and I test it on paper before I risk even a single penny. And that's what you should do. Now, this book, Crap System Tester, I don't even know if it's available anymore. It's like 1,000,000 years old. I've had it. I've got an extensive library on gaming and math theory as applied to gambling, all that kind of stuff. Vast library. I've read 1,000,000 books on it. Things like random chaos and equipartition principles of math. We'll get into that in a minute because that's what I'm basing my new methodology on. Because frankly, I can't remember what I used to do. I know it was a form of a martingale system, but I don't remember the rules that I had set up for it. And it worked for me. So anyway, a friend of mine said, hey, let's go to Vegas. And I said, okay. And I pulled out this book and I started trying to remember what I did. And I started testing my craps system. And then I had a kernel of a flash of a concept that might freaking work. So I tested it. And I'll tell you, I'm running really deep into this book. In other words, I'm having a lot of success. What you want to do is when you think you have a winning methodology for craps, and notice I'm not saying system, I'm saying method. If you think you have a winning craps method, you test it out in this book and see how far you go before you start losing drastically. If you can get beyond the first 30 pages, you might have something. If you can get 3/4 through the book, you can start to get a little bit excited. If you can get through this whole book with a profit, I think you might have something. But this is still not validation for me. I need more than that. And I'm doing well in this book right now with the thing that I've devised. And I'll get into that in a second. So I test it in the book first. Then I go to a real casino and back it with my own money. I put my money where my mouth is and see what happens. Because when you're in a real casino, things change. Things are different. It's not like just cut and dried, you know. When you have your own money at risk, you act differently. You react differently. Things change. So, and who's to say that this book is really accurate? You know, I mean, I want real results. So I'm going to a casino tomorrow. I'm flying into Vegas tomorrow. And my goal is to really put my new methodology to the test. And if it works, I'm going to make a course about it. If I don't, I mean, here's the problem. Here's where the rubber's going to hit the road. If I actually have the fortitude to sit there and play craps. Because I've done this before. I've flown into Vegas saying, I really want to test this craps thing. It's working great for me on paper. And I go there with the greatest of intentions. I walk up to a craps table and I start playing. And some shit weasel starts screaming in my ear. They're all screaming and yelling. And I look down and why? Because they won a $5 freaking chip. I can't stand those. So I walk away and I go to the baccarat table and I never go back to craps. That's what's happened to me in the past. Now, let me talk a little bit about guys on YouTube selling their craps systems. Okay, here's the thing you want to look for. This is my, wait a minute, I got to cover up my number here with my finger. This is a Noarm card. And maybe the camera will focus on it and you can see that's got my name on it. It's not some card that I stole from somebody. This is my card and I've had it for years. What is it? Well, when you play any casino game, you get a card they have every casino has their own cards, right? And these are called rating cards. This is what rates you as a player. This is the MGM card. It covers the MGM properties in Vegas. And Noir is the highest level you can get. They have different levels of these cards, starting at white, then it goes to like blue, and then something, and then something, and then platinum, and then Noir. Now, what does Noir mean? Noir means that you play, I think when I got this, which was several years ago, I think at that time it meant you had to gamble over $1 million a year. Doesn't mean you have to lose $1 million a year. Just means you have to put at risk $1 million a year, or maybe it was 2, maybe it was 5, I don't know. But in order to get this card, you can only get this by special invitation. The casino invites you and says, hey, based on the amount of play, based on the amount of your average bet, the game that you play, and the amount of hours that you play, we would like to give you this special card. It's an Ultra VIP Noir card. And when I got mine, there were only 200 of them in the world. I don't know how many there are now. But what I'm getting at is, when you see these other shit weasels out there telling you about their crap system or their gambling system, if they don't have a Noir card, at least a Noir card, they ain't shit. Okay? They're just pretenders. I know what I'm talking about. I've been doing this for 1 million freaking years. I'm older than Methuselah, and the minute I turned 21, I was out there learning, playing games, learning, all that stuff. So let's get back to the system. I know I'm droning on for a long time. Bear with me. So there's a principle of math. And I think, if I remember correctly, I may have the wrong name for it. If I remember correctly, it's called the Equipartition Principle. So what does that mean? And how am I applying that to this system? This simple martingale system. Well, the Equipartition Principle, and again, that might be the wrong name, but the principle of that says, all things being equal, events still seem to bunch together when it comes to math. Let me explain with a demonstration using, let's say, roulette. So on a roulette wheel, there are 38 different possibilities, 38 different numbers, 1 through 36, and then 2 green numbers, 0 and 00. So, all things being equal, there it is. All things being equal, every time you spin that wheel, every number has an equal chance of coming up, right? So, spinning the wheel 38 times, you are not going to get 38 different numbers. You're going to get some numbers that repeat a lot and some numbers that don't show up at all. That's called the Equipartition Principle, because all things being equal, the odds are the same every spin, but if you spin that wheel 38 times, you're not going to get 38 different numbers without a single number repeating. It just will not happen in 1 million freaking years. And that's kind of a form of random chaos. So I have developed in my tiny little genius brain a way of applying that principle to the craps table. And so far it is winning, but I will not know until I come back from my trip and put it to the acid test. I will not know for sure. So here's the thing. If I make a follow-up video to this, you can start to get excited, because that means it worked. But then I'm going to test it again and again and again and again. Because if I came out with a course and somebody lost $1 because I was just interested in making money by selling a course, and I had no concern about the people that bought the course, I would be the biggest shit weasel on the planet. And believe me, there are a bunch of those shit weasels out there. They want to sell you their courses on how to make money at craps or how to make money at blackjack or whatever. But their shit don't work. And they don't care. Here's the test. If their shit worked, they would be living in Vegas. And they would be using it every freaking day. I don't care what excuse they give you. And the other thing is, people who are making money with their system wouldn't give a shit about making a course and selling it to you for 50 bucks or whatever. They wouldn't need your crappy 50 bucks. I won't need your crappy 50 bucks if I make this course. If it works and if I do it, I won't need your crappy 50 bucks. But I have a different mindset. I want to help people achieve some kind of independence. So a real long shot here, if this works out, which so far it has, but knock wood, it worked for me many, many years ago in the past, made me money. I just got totally burnt out with it. I got burnt out with that lifestyle of having to go into a casino and stand next to those idiots screaming and yelling and people smoking and God, I can't stand that shit. I hate those idiots. I got burned out. I don't care how much money, freaking Noarm Card or no, I don't care how much money, it wasn't worth it to me. But who knows? I don't know why I'm getting motivated again to do this. The more I talk about it and I start remembering the torture of standing at a freaking craps table, the more it makes me say, what the hell are you doing? Why would you go back into that hell? So I may not do it now. Oh, shit. But, okay, here's the thing. Again, hit the subscribe button, ding the little bell, and see if I do a follow-up, because I just got the new iPhone, what is it, the new iPhone 11, and I might do a live YouTube from Vegas because I want to test this new this as a video camera. This does some amazing things as a video camera, so cool beans on that. I can't wait. What else? Okay, before I go away, I know this is so long and random and rambling and stupid, but before I go away, I want to mention a couple of other things that are still making me money. Okay, I'll reduce it to one thing because I don't want to have too much on your plate. But there is a thing out there called Siphon. I bought it, I tested it, I made a couple of social media posts, and that thing makes me money every day. Every day I make, on the low side, I get my emails, and every day I see it either made me maybe like 20 bucks on the very low side, up to several $100s, like $300, $400, $500. And every day I look at that and I go, this is so cool. I'm not doing anything. It's working for me. Okay, I'm not trying to pitch you on this, but I'm just letting you know that when I go through and I test these online income products, it's hard to find one that actually works. This one works. I've tested it myself. It's working for me. It continues to work for me. So I'll put a link to it down below this video, and you can go check it out for yourself. You know, do it, don't do it. I really don't care. I'm just letting you know that that's worked for me. Doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Everybody's different. What can I tell you? Okay. Go away, be nice, donate a few bucks to help a sick kid at St. Jude's Research Hospital for Kids. Maximum respect, Bayanara. Let's see what happens. Stupid video. I know it's a stupid video. Don't hock me in cup. What do you want from me?